You know what? I told Chris Demm two things. One, Chris Demm had encountered some police activity, street toughs, on the road today.
No. Just police cruisers.
Just police cruisers.
And police tape. I couldn't get through my usual route.
I see street toughs almost every day.
I don't think your definition of street tough matches anyone else's.
I dodge street toughs every day. It's a mean streets out here. We're in the downtown area.
Yeah.
And I'm dodging street
I
toughs.
think he just called you a scared white.
I don't understand it. I see street toughs all
These
the
are
time.
street toughs.
I see them all the time.
I believe it's just the local homeless population.
Well, what we do is we avoid. You know, you go down the street, you avoid. Here's the whole point of it. Chris Demm said, did you take such and such street? I said, no, I always take one street over on the thoroughfare. And do you know why? So that I can ride past Biggie's building just to feel that connection with him. I always point up at your apartment.
So 2 floors up, there's a slumbering giant.
Twice a day.
Is his light on?
That's right.
He better be up, that son of a bitch.
I don't see his light on. Let me lean on the horn.
Oh, that's you?
Every day.
Let's go.
Every day, twice a day, I ride by your building just to feel that kindred spirit, that connection that we have as best friends. That's what we do. And I just point up. The second time is when I go by on the way home, and I will.
Yeah, he's in there, I can see.
Today it'll be 3 times because I'll come back. We're recording a new podcast with BB Shea today. It's an exciting time, always. Always these days are exciting when you get together and record a new podcast. You know?
Now, I obviously live in a downtown area, and I realized something yesterday, that I've lived downtown long enough that when you hear a generator start, which I heard start yesterday, you don't know if it's going to last an hour, a day, or a month, because they're always doing some kind of work.
Is this construction, outdoor stuff?
Yes, yeah. About
Or street work?
Yeah, about 4 o'clock I heard a generator start, and I thought, this could go for an hour. This
day.
could go for a day.
Or a month.
This could go for a month, because they're always doing something down there.
There's a lot
where
of
I
road
live.
work.
Oh,
on.
yeah.
A lot
Under
of
the streets.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I see a lot. I'm dodging. That's another thing. I'm taking 1-lane roads. They're closing off lanes. Why? To point up at you, to say to myself, I want to be close to you. I want to have that spirit between the two of us. I know you feel it.
I think I
feel
can
it.
see him getting dressed.
We feel it. We feel it always. I look up. I see
Turn the light out, bro.
the warm glow of the light coming from your apartment. And that shadowy figure behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Getting dressed in the morning.
Will he go gray shirt? Will he go blue?
Well, yesterday you surprised us all with a royal blue, and we loved it.
Yeah, I'll mix him in. I've got a lot more gray shirts than blue shirts.
I like you back.
So-
Cobalt gray today, which I love.
Yep.
I love it. That's your spirit, really.
Isn't cobalt blue?
Yeah, that's a heather gray.
Yeah.
I
This is a heather gray.
yeah, that's right.
I do like the blue. I'll mix it in.
Of course you will. I just said today. This is the second thing I said to Chris Demm. I look at the grid for today's program, and I said it's got all the makings of a really good program. It's just waiting to see how I'll screw it up. It's just at what point will I mess it up to make it go south, to sink it where it should have. There's another today. I guess we'll call it Biggie's audacity test, because a couple of days ago there was a story about a theater where a guy and his girlfriend went in to get the seats that they had prearranged, they had bought online, and a woman and her 7-year-old daughter were already sitting there, knowingly saying, otherwise our seats are bad and they're apart where I can't sit with my daughter. Do you mind if we just take these seats? And the boyfriend said, no, you can't have them. I paid for these. I wanted these. I got them ahead of time. Biggie said, that's some audacity for that woman. That's the height of audacity for that woman to ask. And that's where we are right now.
I've gotten a lot of support from people via email, and a lot of people are saying that, we have reached a point with society where audacity is an all-time high. I feel like I should almost run for some type of office right now on this.
I agree.
Because,
Secretary of Audacity?
I agree. Yeah.
And I've noticed anyone that has a problem with it is part of the problem.
Yeah, that's right.
They're the audacious.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I thought you were right about that. But Chris Demm pointed out, and I think he's probably right, in the moment, I probably would have backed down and said, okay, all right.
Face to face,
I'll sit somewhere else, because the woman is asking, there's her little child with her, and the woman is asking. You know what I got a lot of after that story was a lot of people saying, what's a 7-year-old doing in this PG-13 movie?
Lots of that, yeah.
And in fact, a couple of people said, I'm surprised. We all know what a big sissy Chris Kelly is. I'm surprised he didn't bring up the fact that a 7-year-old was in the PG. So it's always nice to be slapped around for something you didn't say. I didn't even say that. I didn't even bring it up.
I wasn't going to point that out, but that was brought up a lot.
A lot.
Well, I mean, you can take a kid as long. I mean, it's PG-13. It's with a parent.
With a parent,
she's with her parent.
And I felt like I told you this. You said your nieces, of course, are only 4. And I don't think it's a movie for them, certainly, but I feel like they could watch it and not understand it and not be harmed.
Just enjoy the big
That's-
pink.
Yeah, right.
It's funny you bring that up. My mom and sister went to see it.
Okay.
Without my nieces.
Yeah.
And they said exactly what you just said. There's nothing in there they think that they would harm them.
Right.
They would not understand it. They wouldn't like it because it's not fun Barbie. It's not the cartoon Barbie they're used to.
Right. Exactly.
So they wouldn't get it. But they didn't think there was anything that would ruin them for life.
Probably exactly as they intended. So several people said, well, we know Chris Kelly's a big wuss, big sissy, big puss. I'm surprised he didn't say, what's a 7-year-old doing in this PG-13 movie? Again, being ridiculed for something you didn't say. I didn't even.
You can't even put that on the grid.
I didn't bring it. Not on the grid.
How do you grid that?
Didn't. That's off the top of my head. Didn't even grid it. Tell you what's on the grid today. There's a little sports dirt next hour. I watch Colin Cowherd sometimes in the afternoon. Chris Demm told me something he's being dragged for online, and probably rightfully so. You've heard about this?
I've heard a little. Kristen briefly told me, and I have to say that it might be time to jump off the
Colin Cowherd bandwagon.
Because I think at this point it's just him and you.
I watch that in the afternoon, the Colin Cowherd show sometimes, and he does.
Hopefully, I know sometimes you will repeat his takes.
I can't repeat this one.
on the air or to your pickle friends. Hopefully, this is one you won't.
I don't see how I can repeat. No, I wouldn't repeat this one. He does a lot of let me rank my top 10 NFL teams here preseason, that kind of stuff. This was a similar thing that he was doing, and I saw a little bit of this, but did not see this particular take, which is, boy, you talk about, this is B.B. Shea level and beyond. You know how you go contrarian. B.B. Shea does. This one's really out there, and we have that and some sports dirt on the way. Also, we can update you that one person in the state of Florida has won the $1.58 billion jackpot.
Please, for the love of God.
Is it your sister?
It'd be my mother. My mother and sister both bought tickets. So
okay. They did.
Any idea?
I haven't seen a city yet.
No, I've not. It just says Florida. The winning numbers, if you care, are fairly low. 13, 19, 20, 32, 33. Mega Balls, 14. This is the highest in the history of Mega Millions, $1.58 billion. Lump sum would get you $783 million. That is the third largest prize in lottery history.
Now, what I'm worried about is that my mother has won. And because, see, I think I've told you this is she doesn't want to win too much. This is too much money.
Too much.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm worried that if she did win, she wouldn't want that much money, and she'd go drop it in like a charity's box,
the church collection box.
Yes, there's not a she'd donate it to a shelter in Florida or something. Because to her this is an egregious amount of money. She wants to win 20 million, 40 million.
Okay, all right.
1.5 billion she doesn't want to win.
Too much.
So I'm worried if she did win, even though it would change everything for us. She would go
to her. That's an obscene amount.
An obscene amount of money that no one needs.
Right. So she gives it to.
Yeah, she'd go give it to a woman's shelter.
Yeah. Somebody collecting for orphans.
And I've told her
for street toughs.
Yeah.
Street toughs.
And I've told her, look, with that much money, you can give all you want away.
Right.
You can say I want to keep $100 million and donate the rest.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, and I could see her doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't want her to give it all away.
No, not all of it. Now this has to do with money and giving also. A story we chronicled here probably 10 days ago now, and Biggie was on the other side of this one. Cardi B, now remember this story. She was
the swimming pool incident?
The incident in Las Vegas when it was very, very hot, and she threw a microphone at an audience member because that audience member had thrown water at her.
Bitch!
And that was her comment on this. She had asked, some people, throw water at me, throw water.
Hot.
But this person, according to Biggie, had hate in her heart and hate in her eyes when she reared back and threw the water bottle. Well, almost without missing a beat, Cardi B takes the microphone and fires it back at this woman. It hits the person that threw the water, but then it deflects off and hits an innocent bystander as well.
Bitch!
That person collected the microphone and sold the microphone on eBay. The bidding started at $500 and just sold for $99,900. $99,900 for that microphone that was thrown by Cardi B. Now, who in the
Did Cardi B buy it back?
I mean,
That's got to be. And
what?
And I mean, this is, I guess, can you get that pre-approved? That you make sure they actually have the money? Because, you can just go on and bid.
Yeah,
Bid
Any
anything
amount.
up,
Yeah, I
right.
see tons of stuff on, if you go online, like when I was going through baseball cards a few weeks ago, you go online, you think you have one, and it says $8, but then it's on eBay for $3,000. So I don't know if someone can just bid what they want with no check on that. That's ridiculous.
Well, just like your mother, whoever collected the money for this, $99,900, is going to split it between two charities. They're going to give the money to charity, Wounded Warrior Product, and a local Las Vegas charity as well, Friendship Circle Las Vegas. Will get at least most of that money.
Bitch!
I hope they really pay then.
I do too. I mean, I guess the money will be paid. Or what does it go to? The second bidder? Or the second highest if you don't pay it?
Yeah, but I mean, that may be $1,000 or something.
Yeah. $99,900. Wouldn't surprise me if Cardi B did buy it back. So that's, if she's got that kind of money. Otherwise, who in the world?
'Cause it was a nice looking microphone. It wasn't just like the standard ones that we use.
Right. It was.
It was like white and customized.
Yes. Looked like to me it had some weight to it. So if it did hit you.
Probably some jewels and crystals on it.
Oh, yeah, because it's.
A lot of the divas use those.
Do they?
Specialized microphones. Yeah, like Ariana Grande uses a special microphone.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And so it's not just a regular.
Well, they're like bedazzled.
Okay, that makes some sense there. Then there's also an update today on something my wife, Chris Demm says. What does my wife and the top-ranked tennis star in the world, what do they have in common? And the answer is they both tape their mouths shut. We've talked about this for a while. There's a twist on this. My wife tapes her mouth shut sensibly. She looked at this on TikTok a couple of years ago. She does not want to get a CPAP machine. She's not in that camp. I have one. I hook up every night.
You ever pretend you're scuba diving and one of your tanks is out and you share breathing apparatus, or is that not done?
Used to.
What would they call it? Buddy breathing in scuba?
Yeah, I used to do that where I would, but
Yeah.
You take a deep breath and she takes a deep breath?
I've always wondered if that really works, like, and you see that in movies.
I think it does. They teach that.
They teach you
Do
to
they?
scuba.
Okay.
That's the thing.
You're supposed to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So my wife, instead of getting the CPAP machine, sensibly went to TikTok and saw that many people were having success simply taping their mouths shut at night, giving them a deeper night's sleep. This started, I'd say, 18 months ago, and she swears by it. No matter how many doctors come out of the woodwork and say, don't do this.
And God knows we've had them.
Many of them have come out and
We've
said,
played them.
don't do this. She does it and swears by it. Deeper night's sleep, better night's sleep. And
No more mouth breathing.
no mouth breathing at night. So she tapes her mouth shut. Meanwhile, the top-ranked tennis player in the world, Iga Swiatek, is that her name?
It's Iga Świątek. She's
Okay.
from Poland. She's amazing.
I don't know her. I've seen her. She's won 4 majors. Iga Świątek. Okay? Is that right?
Świątek.
Świątek. She was seen practicing in a practice session with her mouth taped shut. And
Playing tennis.
Playing tennis with her mouth taped shut. And she was asked afterward, why? She's 23. Why do you tape your
Iga,
mouth
why?
shut? What are you doing? And she said, I don't know. My trainer told me to. My coach. The coach told her to do it. She said, I don't breathe as well. I'm only going through my nose now. And my heart rate goes up higher. But her coach said, do it. The coach thinks it builds stamina
That's
for the
what
matches.
yeah. It's got to be that he thinks that the lack of oxygen help build up
stamina,
Yeah.
right.
Train you to breathe a different way, or
I think
increase your lung capacity?
I think it's you don't get as much oxygen when you're practicing. Then when you have it, it's all of a sudden. It's like guys who, like if you're right-handed, I've heard of people who like dribblers, basketball players, they won't use their right hand when they're practicing. It's all left hand. Kobe Bryant did that from a young age. He used his left hand all the time. Then when he got in the game and could use his dominant hand, he was great with both, you know? So it's a similar type thing, I suppose. But she says, yeah, I don't really know. I just do.
My coach was on TikTok, I guess.
I just do what my coach says. And he said, tape your mouth up while you're practicing. Incredible, isn't it?
And usually you want more breath.
Well, yeah, you'd think. Let me tell you, I played tennis a few times with a mask during COVID. It's brutal. Can't imagine taping your mouth up like that. That's tough.
I guess it was Wimbledon. That's the most recent major in tennis.
She didn't win it, though, did she?
She did not win.
No.
Iga did not. But one of the men's players, in maybe the semifinal or quarterfinal round, had the breathe right strips. Remember those?
Yes.
I hadn't seen those in 10 years. But he had his nose taped open.
Yeah.
It's the theory is you can breathe more deeply.
More oxygen in during the match. And But yeah, I guess he wanted to train her so less oxygen so that when the match comes, you feel fresher. I had now this is different. You know, I go to a gym where it's heart rate based.
Yeah.
And you have a device on showing what your heart rate is. And the better you get it, the more points you get. And I had a coach tell me once, look, if you want a quick ad of get your heart rate up a little bit, hold your breath for about 30 seconds while you're on the treadmill. She said,
"You didn't hear it from me."
She said, I'm not supposed to say this. She said, I'm not supposed to say it, but
I can shoot you up the leaderboard if you want.
If you're trying to get a little extra point here and there.
And that's all you want.
That's all I want. I'm trying to compete. And she said, hold your breath for about 30 seconds.
Grade me.
Doing these runs. Yep, that's right. Trucker D, you're talking about taping your mouth shut. This tennis player's doing it now in practice. Go ahead.
Well, a lot of that it's really for stamina and building up your endurance, because when I was in the service, a lot of us, we didn't tape our mouth shut, but what we had was we would buy those like breathing masks that restricts your breathing a little bit. And for like high intense workouts, long runs, sled pushes and stuff like that, we would wear them. But it sounds crazy, but believe it or not, when you take that off and you're actually doing the actual event of whatever you've been training for, your stamina is through the roof.
I believe it. I do believe that. Remember, at the gym during COVID, we had to wear just surgical mask, the mask. And remember what Biggie said? He said, "Don't go all I can't breathe on this," because I said I felt like I was being waterboarded.
Yeah, you started getting real into the I can't breathe Karen camp.
Yeah, you called me a Karen because
he called you out injustifiably.
Okay, because I was sweat on it and everything. Yeah. Well, the day we took them off, exactly what Trucker D's saying. All of a sudden, your stamina goes way up. You can go farther. I mean, it really does jump higher,
run faster.
That's right. Thanks, Trucker D. I think that's probably exactly right. And he's military. He knows it. Robbie, you're talking about taping the mouth shut. The tennis player does this during her practices. Go ahead.
Yeah, so basically that kind of ensures that we're keeping our heart rate in zone 2, around 60 to 70% of our max. So we're able to just say run and breathe in and out through our nose. And whenever we're in that zone, that's where we're able to burn fat more than carbs, because it's easier on our body to clear the lactate.
Oh, whoa! Wow, that's really inside the numbers there.
A little science there.
Yeah,
I think we've met this young. I think young Robbie. Have we met? He's really fit, if I recall.
Yeah, I ran the half marathon on an edible.
Yeah, we've met him. He's incredibly fit.
Yeah.
So I would trust him.
Oh yeah, me too.
How would you not trust a dude who runs a half marathon
on an edible?
I think we've hung in a few events with him, and he's incredibly fit.
Shape. Yeah. Do you do the mask trick sometimes, or tape your mouth shut at all, Robbie?
Nah, that stuff's completely stupid.
That's stupid, right? That's right.
Yeah, see?
Okay, makes sense. All right, there it is. I would take fitness advice from Robbie.
Yeah, I think you should. If you want to get cut, I think that's
who I should be talking to.
Yeah, you want to be in zone 2?
Thank you, Robbie.
Yeah. You just mess around in zone 1?
Yeah. Get up to zone. Go ahead. Yeah. Let's go to zone 2.
You can talk fitness, and who knows, maybe split an edible.
Here. Get a gummy, chomp it really good, do your half marathon.
Robbie, we'll see you at Halloween.
That's right.